I was curious about all the women that are accusing Bill Cosby of what happened, and I was looking for a complete list of women who have accused Bill Cosby of sexual assault, and I found one. And I'm going to read you off the names. As of right now, there appears to be 25 women accusing Bill Cosby of sexual assault. And I mean, if it's true, Bill, you're not a good person. That this would make you basically a serial rapist, and I don't mean a rapist of breakfast cereals. I mean a guy who plans, acts out. I mean, you have a method, and you've done it over a long period of time. So basically, you're a terrible, you're a terrible person. You're not like an idol for anybody anymore. And those of us who grew up and like we watched your cartoons and we listened to your comedy routines and we even ate your Jello pudding. Um, I don't know. Well, anyway, I did find an article, and I'll just put a link to the article in my description area below. So if you don't feel like listening to me ramble about it, you can just read it, and I'm going to try and go through it quickly. Uh, and get through it, and it might take me a little while, but okay, here we go. The following women have alleged, as a matter of public record, that Bill Cosby sexually assaulted or raped them. They are listed in the order their allegations became public. And number one would be a woman named Lichelle Covington. Covington is an actress who was 20 at the time, and she filed a police report alleging that Cosby pushed her hand toward his penis after inviting her to his New York home on January 25th, 2000, to give her career advice. The New York Post reported that authorities decided no crime had been committed because until the very moment Covington pulled her hand away, all actions had been consensual. A Cosby spokesperson called the story not true. Number two. I hope this doesn't sound like a David Letterman countdown list because that would not be cool. But anyway, here we go. Andrea Constand. Constand told Ontario police, in Canada, in January 2005, that the year prior, when she was 31, she had visited Cosby at his home in Pennsylvania seeking career advice. Constand, an Ontario native, worked at the time for Temple University, Cosby's alma mater. Constand alleged he gave her herbal pills, in parentheses, for anxiety, then touched her breasts and vaginal area, rubbed his penis against her hand, and digitally penetrated her fingers. The Pennsylvania prosecutor who looked into the case has said that while he didn't bring charges because the available evidence was not sufficient, he found Constand credible and found Cosby evasive. After prosecutors declined to charge him, Constand filed a civil suit against Cosby for $150 million. Wow. Her suit cited anonymously 13 other women who alleged that he had sexually assaulted them. Some of the women referred to as Jane Does in legal language have since identified themselves publicly and are mentioned below. The identities of Jane Doe witnesses are disclosed to defendants, and I'm not going to read the rest of that. Number three, Shawn Brown. The National Enquirer reported in 2005 that Brown, who has also gone by the name Shawn Upshaw, says Cosby drugged and raped her while she was unconscious. The site Hollywood Interrupted also published her allegations in 2007. Brown has now given an interview to the Daily Mail, which ran a piece in November 26 detailing her story. Brown says she was in a consensual sexual relationship with Cosby in 1973 when he drugged and raped her, and that's going back a long time, at her house in Beverly Hills. Brown's daughter, Autumn Jackson, was jailed in 1998, I think I remember, for attempting to extort the comedian who Brown believes to be Jackson's father. Yeah, that was definitely in the news. Cosby has admitted sleeping with Brown, but has said he is not Jackson's father. Number four, Tamara Green. In February of 2005, Green, a retired trial attorney, appeared on the Today Show and told Matt Lauer that Cosby had drugged and assaulted her in the 70s. Green was working as a model and met Cosby through mutual friends, she says, and he offered her what he told her was cold medicine when she was ill. When she began to feel incapacitated, she alleges he offered to take her home, where he began groping and undressing her. When she struggled, he left, leaving behind $200 bills on her table. Anyway, Cosby's attorney issued the following response, which referenced Green's maiden name, Lucier. Miss Green's allegations are absolutely false. Mr. Cosby does not know the name Tamara Green or Tamara Lucier, and the incident she describes did not happen. Green was one of the Jane Does cited in Constand's lawsuit. Number 5, Beth Ferrier. In June 2005, Ferrier, 46 at the time, told Philadelphia Daily News that Cosby drugged her coffee when she visited him before a performance in Denver when she was 25. Ferrier, who worked as a model, had been in a consensual relationship with Cosby that ended before the alleged assault. She met him through mutual acquaintances and had believed he would help her with a career. That's starting to become a common thread. Ferrier was also a Jane Doe. This is going to take a long time. I mean, he's been doing this a long time, or allegedly. I'm sorry. He's been allegedly doing this a long time over to a lot of women. So I'm only up to number 6. Barbara Bowman. In 2006, Bowman publicly identified herself as one of the Constand's Jane Does via the article in a Philadelphia magazine. Although she didn't discuss details of her accusation at the time, in October of this year, after comedian Hannibal Buress called Cosby a rapist during a performance, and I don't think he actually called him a rapist, but Bowman, he just said to read the stories. Bowman, now 47, and an artist, spoke about her experience to the Daily Mail when she was 17 and pursuing a career as a model again. An actress she says she met Cosby, who she said pursued a mentor-mentee relationship with her, and then drugged and assaulted her multiple times. While the Daily Mail can be unreliable, Bowman later vouched for its version of her account in the Washington Post piece. Bowman's account mentions that during their first encounter, he had asked her to wet her hair and pretend to be drunk while he stroked her, an incident similar to those recounted by other accusers. Number 7, Joan Tortious. On November 16th of this year, Joan Tortious, a 64-year-old music industry publicist and journalist, told Hollywood Elsewhere that Cosby raped her twice in 1969 when she was 19 years old and pursuing a career as a writer in L.A. Tortious said Cosby first assaulted her after he invited her to her work on material with him in his bungalow and made her drink that caused her to lose consciousness. Okay, number 8. Linda Joy Traitz. Now 63, Traitz wrote in her Facebook on November 17 that Cosby assaulted her when she was 19 and working as a waitress. That's 42 years ago. As a waitress at a restaurant that he partially owned. Traitz alleges that Cosby offered her a ride home from the restaurant, but instead drove her to a beach and tried to force her to take pills to help her relax. Traitz told CNN that he groped her chest, pushed her down, and tried to lie on top of her. Traitz has a criminal record that includes imprisonment on drug trafficking convictions. In response to her allegations, Marty Singer, an attorney representing Cosby, cited her troubled past and said she lacks credibility. Number 9, Janice Dickinson. Everybody knows her. On November 18, model and reality TV personality Janice Dickinson, now 59, told Entertainment Tonight that Cosby sexually assaulted her in 1982 at a dinner in Lake Tahoe in which they were to discuss her career. She says she asked him for a pill for period cramps. I don't know if she'd ask him, but at that, the last thing I remembered was Bill Cosby in a patchwork robe, dropping his robe and getting on top of me, and I remember a lot of pain. Singer, Cosby's attorney, called Dickinson's story a fabricated lie. Dickinson says Cosby's attorney kept her from including a description of the alleged assault in her 2002 book, but Singer said he never wrote such a description and he never contacted by Cosby's representatives. Number 10, Therese Serignese. The Huffington Post printed allegations made against Cosby by Serignese, a 57-year-old nurse in Boca Raton, Florida. On November 20, she said that Cosby, in 1976, when she was 19 years old, he was headlining a show at the Las Vegas Hilton, she alleges, and approached her in the hotel gift shop backstage in the green room. He allegedly gave her drugs, and when she came to, he was having sex with her in a bathroom, she says. Serignese I don't even know if this is the right word, subsequently, so I'm just going to say Serignese later stayed in contact with Cosby and accepted money from him, which he had promised to give her if she pursued an education and received good grades. She told the HuffPo that at one point in their relationship, it's not clear when, he asked her to wet her hair and pretend to be an actress. Number 11, Carla Ferrigno. Carla Ferrigno, an actress and the wife of the Incredible Hulk. Ooh boy, if this is all true, he's very brazen. He's like willing to do this to the wife of the Incredible Hulk. I mean, you don't want to do stuff like that because Lou Ferrigno is a huge guy, and as the Hulk, he would get angry and Hulk smash. Anyway, told Room Morphix on November 20th that in 1967, or maybe it was before they were married, Cosby grabbed her and forcibly kissed her at a party while his wife was in another room. Number 12, Louisa Moritz. Moritz, a 60-year-old lawyer and one-time actress who appeared in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, told TMZ in a story published November 20 that in 1971 Cosby forced her to perform oral sex on him in a green room in The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. Ugh. Johnny didn't know about that, I bet, if it ever happened. Hopefully it didn't. Singer responded by saying allegations against Cosby have reached the point of absurdity and alleging that Moritz has been in the subject of professional sanctions. Moritz is a lawyer who was disciplined by the California State Bar and ordered not to practice. We pulled the documents. She can't practice because she can't report certain quarterly reports. I don't know what that means. Number 13, Renita Cheney Hill. Hill, now 47, says she met Cosby when she was 15. And he was filming, I'm about halfway through, and he was filming an educational TV segment in Pittsburgh. Hill says that they stayed in touch for 4 years, that Cosby flew her to meet him in various cities and kept in touch with her parents, asking about her grades at school. On November 20th in Pittsburgh, CBS affiliate broadcast an interview with Hill in which she said she believes Cosby drugged her and sexually assaulted her on more than one occasion during their relationship. Number 14, Michael Hurd. And make that Michelle. Sorry. He's not raping men named Michael. Or allegedly raping. Michael Hurd, an actress, Michelle Hurd, and I said Michael again, known for her roles in Law & Order, Special Victims Unit, and Gossip Girl, amongst others, described Cosby as being very inappropriate with her when she was doing stand-up on the Cosby Show. It started innocently, lunch in the dressing room daily, then went on to weird acting exercises where he would move his hands up and down my body. Can't believe I fell for that. And was instructed to never tell anyone that what we did together. Hurd reportedly wrote in a Facebook post on November 20th, I dodged the ultimate bullet with him when he asked me to come to his house, take a shower so we could blow dry my hair and see what it looked like straightened. I then started to take notice and found another actress standing as well, and we started talking a lot. Turns out he was doing the same thing to her, almost by the numbers, but she did go to his house, and because I will not name her, and it is her story to tell, I will say she awoke after being drugged, vomited, and then Cosby told her, there's a cab waiting for you outside. Pretty cold. Number 15, Angela Leslie. On November 21, the Daily News reports that a 52-year-old former model actress named Angela Leslie says that Cosby sexually assaulted her in Las Vegas, 1992. Leslie alleges Cosby fixed her a drink, asked her to wet her hair and pretend to be intoxicated, and masturbated using her hand while she was in shock. Number 16, Christina Ruele. The 71-year-old was one of the Jane Does in the Andrea Constand case that was settled out of course. In 1965, Ruele, this is so long, it's like I'm considering taking a bathroom break, but here I go. Ruele worked as a secretary at a talent agency in Los Angeles that represented Cosby. Ruele told Philadelphia Magazine in a story published in November 21 that Cosby asked her to a party in his home, but it turned out that she was only a guest. Cosby poured her a drink that she said must have been drugged. There was just one point at which I was having a drink and feeling normal, and the next I was somehow passed out completely. Ruele says when she awoke, Cosby was trying to force her to perform oral sex, she says, but after she ran to the bathroom and vomited, he was gone when she returned to the room where she had been. Number 17, Victoria Valentino. In early 1970, Valentino, a former Playboy Playmate, had dinner with Cosby and an aspiring actress named Meg Foster. Valentino says Cosby offered them red pills. All three took a pill and went back to Cosby's house. According to Valentino's account, Valentino, now 71, says she recalled pulling Cosby off of Foster as he tried to rape her. The room was spinning, and Valentino said she remembered feeling it was if she was going to throw up. She told the Washington Post in a piece published on November 22nd. Cosby came over to me and sat down on the love seat and opened his fly and grabbed my head and pushed my head down. And then he turned me over. Geez, hopefully nobody will edit this and use my voice as if that it's doing it to me. Jeez. And then he turned me over, and it was like a waking nightmare. She protested but could not stop him, she said. Number 18, Joyce Edmonds. Former comedy club manager Joyce Edmonds told TMZ in a story published November 22nd that she ran in the same crowd as Cosby in the 1970s and that he kept a drawer full of drugs. Edmonds says one night she got a bad migraine headache, and Cosby offered her a white pill, which he said was a little strong but could cure a headache. According to TMZ, she says she took the pill, blacked out, and the next thing she knew, She was nude in the bed in Cosby's suite with one of his friends, a guy who had unsuccessfully tried hitting on her early in the evening. Edmonds says that she confronted Bill and demanded to know what drug she took, and he laughed and said it was just a Quaalude. Jewel Alison. Alison, we're up to number 19. Alison, a former model, told the New York Daily News in a story published November 24th that Cosby sexually assaulted her at his New York City home in the late 1980s. She says the two of them were eating dinner at his Manhattan brownstone when she became disoriented. After drinking wine he poured for her, Cosby then led her in front of a mirror, telling her to look at her own face, and placed her hand on his genitals, Alison alleges. She says then he gave her a hard kiss before hailing her a taxi, in which she vomited. Number 20, Donna Motsinger. The New York Post reported November 26 that the 73-year-old Motsinger says Cosby drugged and raped her in 1971 when she worked as a waitress at a jazz club in Sausalito, California. Motsinger was one of the Jane Does identified at Andrea Constand's lawsuit. 21, we are rounding down. Judy Huth. Judy Huth. In a lawsuit filed December 2, Huth alleges that she met Cosby in a Los Angeles park in 1974 when she was 15 years old, and that he sexually abused her. Days later at the Playboy Mansion. They might be able to verify that because I think they keep records at the Playboy Mansion. Anyway, Huth claims that Cosby provided her with a number of alcoholic drinks before confronting her in a bedroom and using her hand to masturbate himself. Singer says Huth allegations are false and that she attempted to extort Cosby before filing her suit. Number 22, Helen Hayes. At December 3rd, a press conference called by the prominent attorney Gloria Allred, Hayes alleged that Cosby groped her in 1973 after they met at a celebrity tennis tournament in Pebble Beach, California, and he followed Hayes and her friends around the city despite their attempts to avoid him. Number 23, Shalon. At the same press conference that Hayes spoke at, a woman identifying herself only by her first name, Shalon, said that Cosby drugged and sexually abused her at the Las Vegas Hilton in 1986 when she was 17. After promising to introduce her to representatives from a modeling agency, she says the comedian gave her a blue pill, this time, that caused her to become groggy, asked her to wet her hair, and sexually assaulted her before she passed out. Number 24, P.J. Mastin, a former Playboy bunny, told CNN in the interview broadcast December 20 that Cosby drugged and raped her at the Whitehall Hotel in Chicago after drugging her drink. The network did not specify when the alleged rape took place, but Mastin said that she began working for Playboy in 1972. A lot of funny stuff going on in Playboy Mansion. Number 25, this is the final allegation that is here as of this time. This date, 12/12/2014. Number 25, Beverly Johnson. On December 11, Vanity Fair piece Johnson, a model and actress who in 1974 became the first black woman to appear on the cover of Vogue, wrote that Cosby drugged her during a mid-1980s visit to his home when she was being considered for a role on The Cosby Show. She says she asked her to act as if he was drunk and put his arms around her before she objected. Cosby then pulled her down a flight of stairs, which she, with such force, she feared her neck was going to break and ejected her from his home, she wrote. We're including Johnson with an asterisk because while she alleges Cosby drugged, this is something I'm reading in the article, an assault to her account does not specifically accuse him of touching her sexually. And that's it. A lot of people have accused him, and this took me a long time to read. So again, if this is true, you're a terrible person, Bill Cosby, and I don't know. I don't even know what to think anymore.